any movement about men's rights or a pro-male movement in general is bound to end up becoming nothing more or less than a dick measuring contest. To believe me, I will give you examples. First example, the results of the MRA. The MRA began to support men, especially those that have been under divorces and all that, against the bias of society. This movement degraded into a dick measuring contest about who is the better, you can call it white knight, but in reality, you can call it anything you want. This movement degraded to the point where women entered it, but the women entering it were not the actual problem. You see, they could have entered it as long as they complied with the premises, but no, women entered it, and the men already inside turned it into a dick measuring group. So MRAs ended up simply trying to please the females inside that group. In fact, I could go on saying that women had nothing to do with the MRA fiasco. Women were actually the symptom of a disease. Now, moving on from the MRA, we have the MGTOW, and sadly, we see the same trend going on there. And I mean a number of people that I used to consider worth listening to, but right now I consider them trash that offer just entertainment. They don't offer real content. They offer entertainment for the sake of feeding the trolls of the internet and the attention seekers. These people will expend their lives trying to discuss things like what this woman did to that man, or constantly returning to the issue of women and constantly trying to whine about how women do this and that. I hate to say this, but it is degrading to the point of being a conversation like in magazines like Cosmopolitan. Now, that was a tangent. Moving on. The MGTOW are not really co-opted. In reality, they are attracting too much attention. And the reason they're attracting too much attention is because now there is a label. In earlier times, there wasn't a label. You could be one, but you could not tell yourself, I am this thing. And it has become kind of an identity. And to our enemies, it has become a pejorative term. Pretty much like people on 4chan will say, oh, you're autistic, or you're a neckbeard, or all that. Never mind the fact that I know a lot of neckbeards who are pretty damn successful in their lives. Anyway, this label has degraded to that. It has degraded to the point where people throw feces at each other and saying, you're autistic. No, you're autistic. It has degraded to the point of 4chan. And I know that some people have no problem with it. They had no problem with the drama of the internet, because that's how they fill their gap, their emotional gap. Me personally, I hate drama, and this is why I am laying low. I'm lying low under the radar. I don't have an obvious position. I don't care so much, because I know that basically it's drama. And basically the people that have dominated the wider manosphere are the drama queens. People like Barbarossa and people like Stardust are sadly exceptions to the rule. They are very interesting, very important elements. They produce content which might not be reproduced. I mean, you might not have found it if it wasn't for them. And this is the important part of producing content. People like Sandman, they will always exist. He's not providing a product that is in any way hard to find. I can find a lot of people providing such a product because it's a product. It's a branded label in reality. He's selling something, and obviously the donations and all that, it's just a way to sell something. And all the almost tabloid bullshit in each of his videos, it's actually a branded product, and this is what Stardust was talking about. I'm not saying it's bad to sell your ideas to the public, but what I'm saying is the quality has degraded. Of course, it's Sandman, so the quality doesn't degrade. He always had that quality. Now it's just very obvious. But he was just one of them. There were others. There was Bernard Chapin, who had a lot of interesting videos, but he degraded himself. He always returned to the mean. He always regressed to the mean, which was being a drama queen, caring very much about making it all about partisan politics, about saying that I'm pro-freedom, I'm pro-this, I'm pro-that, like it means anything. It means nothing. He votes Republican. Does that mean he's pro-freedom? Well, technically, no, it doesn't. The reason it doesn't is because if you're pro-freedom, you don't vote. Voting means you legitimize the state authority, and the state is not exactly the representative of freedom, unless, of course, you're a statist, in which case, well, you might as well be a sadist. Anyway, Now, this is Bernard Shapen. He has bashed MGTOW, and I can't say too much about it. It's his choice to bash whomever he wants. I have unsubscribed from him a long time ago because I believe that he's just offering the YouTube version of tabloid bullshit. He simply is offering the same drama shit that other people are offering. And my life, I don't want drama because I've seen enough in my life to make me disgusted. And after him, there are people like Orini. Orini is an interesting case. The interesting case about him is that he has an attitude, the attitude of the sophisticated guy who knows a lot of things. The thing is, he really doesn't. In fact, his ignorance is so large that, let's just say, he reeks of ignorance. He was talking about narco-capitalism. Okay. I'm a narco-capitalist, first of all, so if you're not a narco-capitalist, or if you find that my content has no value to you, I suggest that you unsubscribe. I have no ties with nationalism. I hate nationalists, period. I hate nationalists of white collar, of black collar, of any color. There is nothing you will find other than these things in this channel. Anyway, Orini is basically the kind of guy that dismissed anarcho-capitalism, which was a group of ideas summing up decades, if not centuries, of thought, and he dismissed it in 5 minutes. Like, you can dismiss something like this in 5 minutes. You can't dismiss even socialism in 5 minutes. You need to carefully dissect it to dismiss it. And usually, as far as I can tell, all these trolls of the internet are addressing the same issues again and again, the same issues that people like Murray Rothbard has already addressed and has already answered sufficiently. Anyway, this is not about Murray Rothbard. Orini is actually very shallow. He pretends he's not shallow, but he is shallow. And the fact that he wastes time and money to make a stupid documentary about a stupid drama queen says a lot. Because these funds could go to something much more important. I don't know what, but certainly you can find shit. And if you want to make a documentary about men's rights, you can make a documentary about men's rights, and not documentary that is, well, kind of like Gamergate, but not exactly. Let us not be completely Gamergate. We need to be friendly with everybody. So no, I don't like that. Orini is stupid in that, with that regard. Now, I could mention a guy, Rizzle Dizzle, a Snake Plisskenist. He's an interesting guy. He has some interesting ideas, and his snarky attitude sells. But he's also ignorant in some certain aspects. I mean, most people cannot understand that most likely your questions, most likely the so-called rebuttals you have, the ways you allegedly refute entire theories might be already addressed. And even Marxism might have answers in it about questions that you have about. Yeah, I know people don't like to hear that, but Marx might have had answers to their questions, even at that age and even in his writings. In this, I'm not saying I'm a Marxist, I'm saying that you should understand that when you are asking somebody about something, he might have answered this a billion times in the past. So, if anything, go through the 5-minute trouble of doing a 5-minute research. Believe me, in 5 minutes you can find everything you want. It's in the palm of your hands. The knowledge of all human history is in the palm of your hands, and you are making questions that have been answered, and you can find the answers within 5 minutes. That's my problem with these people. Orini is shallow, as I said. He is shallow. I can't say it. I mean, his videos about psychopathy and all that, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you know psychology, and if you know some elements of psychiatry and neuroscience, you will find out that Orini is full of shit when it comes to his videos of psychology. When it comes to the rest of his videos, well, just kind of in the middle. He's just the guy that, just provides entertainment. And after that, it's Captain Capitalism. Captain Capitalism. Aaron Clary. In my opinion, he's the worst. And he's the worst because he thinks he's the good guy. He thinks he's on the right side. Literally on the right side. Like, I'm the right wing and I'm right. My problem with him is that, as always, as with the rest of the guys, he just sells a product. He's just a pickup artist with a more fancy attitude, with a more fancy and a little more sophisticated attitude. He's not better than that. I can find his bullshit by just going to any PUA forum over the internet. And I can also find his books for free. And by simply scanning his books, I find out that, well, he's not saying anything that hasn't been written already, so I would rather read books that actually explain economic shit instead of reading a book that is, just about student loans or just about a narrow issue. That being said, he was bashing MGTOW. I haven't read all his accusations, and I don't care, basically. All he's saying is that you should man up, you should be the man, that we should return to traditionalism, that we should embrace the good old times, the times of the Constitution, the times of the Reagan era, the Thatcher era, and all that bullshit. He's simply the classical conservative, the classical example of the conservative, the guy who says, in the past we had it good. It was good times. Now we're screwed up, but in the past it was good times. When somebody asks them, how did we progress from the good times to this? And if it was good times, why did people choose something else? Their answer will be, well, this, and that, there is this original sin of socialism and all that. They will just make a kind of theological answer. They will just make up a theological answer, like the original sin of socialism. Well, you can call it an original sin. The thing is, everyone is a socialist. I haven't seen a guy who is not a socialist, apart from anarcho-capitalists. The difference is quantitative, not qualitative. In other words, in the words of Ludwig von Mises, you're all a bunch of socialists. This is in fact true. And even Captain Capitalism is a fucking socialist, because all he really wants is the Reagan era. All he really wants is to minimize the growth rate of the state. At best, he might want the Thatcher era, which was in fact an era in which Thatcher fucked coal miners, in which Thatcher fucked a lot of people with poll taxes. Oh, you don't hear people saying that. You don't hear people saying that Thatcher was a fucking statist pig. No, you hear people saying that Thatcher was liberal, market liberal, which is in fact a fucking shame. Now, the closest thing these people can get to libertarian is being Randian, as in Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand was intellectually dishonest, but not for the obvious reasons. She was intellectually dishonest because she had some extremely to-the-point premises. She hit the nail to the wall. She was very good in her initial premises, and she ended up screwing it up. And she did that by forming a cult. She did that by not admitting that anarchy is the logical conclusion of capitalism, and if capitalism is to be implemented to the letter, anarchy will come. It's the only way. Well, you take both things or you don't take anything. Basically, the closest they get is the Randian position. And this is also interesting because you might find out that they attract a lot of white nationalists in their ranks. The reason they attract a lot of white nationalists in their ranks is because the white nationalists like that. They like the quasi-market liberal. They don't like the real market liberal. They like the attitude of playing in all fields, economically speaking. They are Keynesians. Most of them don't know it, but most of them are Keynesians. So when O'Reilly says it's bullshit, when Aaron Clary says it's bullshit, when other people in the so-called Manosphere say they're bullshit, and I mean the neo-reactionaries and all that, it's only logical that they will attract some, white nationalists. I'm not saying that white nationalism is evil. Well, yeah, it is, but any type of nationalism, in my opinion, is evil, for reasons that I could explain at some other point. But, returning to my previous issue, because I have gone on a lot of tangents, every movement is bound to regress to a dick measuring contest. Every movement like that, whether it's called MRA or MGTOW, will end up being a bunch of idiots waving their dicks around and trying to measure who has the biggest cock. That's it. That's the whole story. And the reason I don't want to have any such label is because I see that, and I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of the drama. You can have all the drama you want, gentlemen, but I won't be a part of it. And in reality, I think it's probably time to just abandon all labels. Abandon all labels whatsoever. Barbarossa and Stardust have innovated. They have provided very important content, and a lot of other people have done that. Man, Woman, Myth, and others. I don't remember everybody. Razorblade Candy is one of them. Spetsnaz is one of them as well. But this is not enough, gentlemen. What we need to do is refuse to play a part in this stick measuring contest. Refuse to play by their standards. The standards they have set for us are crooked. It is not a true competition. And wherever we go, these people who claim that they are not Manginas, these people will accuse everybody else who disagrees in any way to them as being a communist, something like that. As you can hear, I'm not a communist. In fact, I represent the only idea that is a priori against the very soul of communism. But of course, that does not mean I will support them, or the Reaganites, the Thatcherites, all these people, the neocons, or the paleocons, or the cons of any kind. I don't like them because they are the traditionalist element in the Manosphere. And in reality, what we're looking at here is the gradual crescendo to a new night of the long knives. And by that, I don't mean that we will actually go outside and kill each other. No, by all means. What I'm saying is that there will be a huge cleansing at some point, a huge crackdown. Shit will be going down very soon, and we might see all these, snarky assholes who are selling their shitty advice and shitty opinions for some shekels. We will see them all crumbling down, not because they will be losing their audiences, but because they will be losing their credit. This is happening already because the people who are producing content are no longer in affiliation with the rest of the people. Those who just choose to have the easy way out, the Sandman way out, the Orini way out, the Aaron Clary way out, the Bernard Chapin way out. Some people will think to themselves that they want to improve themselves by understanding the nature of our society and the nature of reality. Other people, they will just regress to the mean, which is going on and on about how women this and how women that. This is merely the purple pill phase. To be properly red pilled, you need to go beyond that. You need to go beyond merely complaining and merely trying to make a compromise like traditionalists. You have to go to the point where you don't even care, where you have accepted the reality as it is, as shitty as it is, and you don't care. And you just move on and you just improve yourself, and that's it. Now, as for women, there is one good rule of thumb, and I will leave it at that. Judge them equally as you would judge men. I know that this is going to make people say I'm an egalitarian, but I'm not. You need to judge everybody equally, though. You need to have an initial equality of judgment in order to allow this natural hierarchy in your mind to exist. So, giving you an example lastly, this video is very long, but I hope I have covered some points. When a woman tells you, for example, that she will take a taxi, that she needs to go home, there is no need to get her home with your car. There is no need to drive all the way to another state to drive her home. Because you should ask yourself, would I do this for a friend of mine? If I wouldn't do this for a friend of mine, how long would I need to know that friend? And how well would I need to know that friend to do this? To do this sacrifice, this gesture? You might find out that 95 to 99 times out of 100, it is irrational to sacrifice yourself for a female. And this is not something bad. This is something completely logical. In fact, the greatest problems in the world emerge because we treat women as something above males. If we actually treated them as equals, none of this would have happened, and we wouldn't have even the traditionalists up our asses, because they would simply play by the rules and not try to have special privileges. Anyway, central points of my video. I don't have any affiliation with any retard who just wants to entertain people, saying that he's a part of the Manosphere. I don't have any affiliation with their subscribers. At least I hope I don't. Now, I don't care about donations. I am poor generally, but I don't care about donations. If you want to donate, I can give you links to donate, but I'm not going to make any videos discussing anything on demand, at least not for now, and obviously not as long as I don't have an audience. Anyway, and the last point is, let's stop the drama. Let's not play the role of drama queens. We are adults. Let us play the game like adults, not like a bunch of kids. Thank you for listening.